Hey guys, welcome to Latte and Tea. In this video, we have a compilation of 4 kidnappings that went viral of a few young ladies. This is never okay and it needs to stop. Let's get into the video.
There are many cases of people getting kidnapped every year who are never found. So what happens when the police are actually able to find them? Starting with when 10 kidnapped underage girls were found inside a trailer. In 2022, officers were called in after a witness told police he saw human fingers poking out of a man's trailer at a traffic stop. Once officers arrived and asked about it, the driver was extremely hesitant to explain any further with them.
We're out here because there is supposed to be people back there.
How many other people in the truck? How many other people are in the truck?
Any information I give can and will be held against you.
Well, I just want to know who's inside the truck right now, so that way I know who else we're dealing with here. Or else I'm going to call everybody out.
As you can see, it's a pretty serious deal here, sir. What is your name?
Samuel.
Samuel what?
Do I have to tell you my name?
I'm asking for your name.
Yeah, I don't have to tell you, right?
Sir,
Yes, sir.
what is your name?
Samuel.
Samuel what?
Is he the driver?
Yeah,
Okay, you have to identify yourself. You understand that,
I
right?
don't know. I'm just wondering. Yeah, Samuel Bateman.
Samuel Bateman. I don't understand. What are you doing? We're trying to make
Samuel,
sure
I
people...
just got here. Explain to me what's going on.
Calm down.
I'm
You're being videoed. If just in case you.
Yeah, that's
You're
fine.
being videoed as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um. Stuff.
Stuff?
The individual who was driving the trailer is named Samuel Bateman, and the reason why he was so hesitant to say his name is because he's actually a polygamous cult leader, which means he's married to more than one spouse with a total of 20 wives he's married to. This is going to be very important later on, but for now, officers decide to open up his trailer, and what they found inside was horrifying.
Pull down the handle.
Where are the hands? Let's see the hands.
Let's get that other door open.
There was hands sticking out of the top of the trailer. There's hands sticking out of the top of the trailer earlier. Let's see them. Let's see your hands. They're in the front.
Behind the curtain. Okay. Keep your hands up for me. Go and walk out towards me, okay? Try not to slip, all right?
The cops find multiple girls inside the trailer, and after getting all of them out, they start to question the woman on how they got there and their ages.
Just keep your hands out of your pockets for me, okay?
Take your ID from you.
We can check everything out.
And who else has ID?
I got this.
Identification. Do you guys have
Got that one there.
any other ID? Nothing. You don't have ID cards. How old are you? 14. 14. How old are you? 11. How old are you? 12. You? How old are you? How old are you? How old are you? You don't have to say, or you just following her? Well, we're going to identify each and every one of you if you want to leave today, okay? Hang tight a minute.
Ma'am, can you keep your hand out of your pocket for me? Thank you. I understand. It's just a safety thing.
All right. I'm going to have each one of you put your phones up on the vehicle here. Go ahead and put your phones up on the vehicle. Thank you. Anyone, do you have a phone? Cell phone?
Hey, that's not right, is it?
Do you have a cell phone?
It's not with me.
Okay, not a problem. All right.
Do we have to, like, put them out there?
Yes, ma'am. We're doing an investigation right now, and I'm not going to have you have a phone in front of me, okay? You'll have a right to get your stuff afterwards, okay? So, instead of playing games, let's just put them there like I just asked you to. All right. So, I got your ID, correct? Okay. I need you to write your first name, middle name, last name, and your date of birth. Like I said, I need to to identify each and every one of you. Make sure it's clear and legible.
Just to let you guys know, if you provide false information, it can be charged. So we're just giving you a warning now, all right?
So you said
Yeah,
first name, middle name?
Your first name, your middle name, and a last name. Do you have a middle
I
name?
don't have a middle name.
That's okay, and your date of birth.
Just date of birth.
Yeah. And does everyone have water? Anyone like needing water or anything? You
Yeah,
guys?
we need their son
Okay, we'll do that as soon as our investigation is done here, okay? Why children are being transported in a vehicle, we're getting calls about hands sticking out of a vehicle, out of the trailer. So that is why we're contacting you guys, because it is unsafe for children to be riding in a trailer. They're not properly seat belted, and we need to do an investigation and figure out what's going on, okay? Do you have any questions?
still. Yeah, isn't that legal in Arizona?
No, ma'am.
Will it go on my record? Like will it harm my record?
Right now, we're just investigating. what's going
investigating.
on, okay, you're not being charged with anything at the moment. You're not free to go because we are conducting an investigation.
What about you?
At this point, he's detained right now. I don't
That
know.
really makes me mad.
Okay, I understand that, but like he said, once we do our investigation, we can figure this out. But we just need you guys to give us your names
You
and stuff.
have to let him go.
No, ma'am.
No.
You're not going to decide the outcome of this. We will decide, and we'll let you know how everything's going to happen here, okay?
The officers find a total of 10 girls inside the trailer, with the youngest one being only 11 years old. It's hard to know Samuel's intentions with all the girls, but judging from his past, they're probably not good. You can see all the girls looking very calm and dumbfounded that this is a problem that they were found inside a trailer. Then the officers separated them to get more detailed info about the situation, and ultimately decided to charge Samuel with federal kidnapping and tampering with evidence. However, he has pleaded not guilty to all charges. But yet, if you thought that was bad, then you probably didn't know about the time when a 23-year-old kidnapped woman was hurt and held captive inside a shed. In 2023, Ohio police were notified after a man spotted a woman who seemed to be in rough shape that was located inside a shed. When officers came to the area to get more information, another woman explained what she thought was going on in the shed.
What's going on? How do we get in? Can we get in the door?
You have to kick in the side door. We don't care. I don't care. My parents are here. I can't come. I just love this camera. He used to live here, so he can tap into anything. But we have cameras up for other reasons.
Right, I got you. You know he's in there for a fact?
I know for a fact.
Yeah. You can kick your door. You can kick it in.
I swear to God. Go ahead. Please. I don't know what's wrong with this girl.
Oh, there's a girl in there with him?
Yes. I told them this only. I told them this. There's a girl in there. She's very small and slim. My husband said he didn't really get a good look at her, but he's yelling at her. Before I peeked over the her face, she can't see out of her eyes.
Okay.
So this is why I'm nervous. This is why I've been calling his all morning, and I don't even know if that's even the right thing to do.
You know 100%.
I know 100%.
The woman explained that she was 100% sure that there was a kidnapped woman there, and she suspected that the kidnapper was a man named William Mozingo, who had been already convicted before in 2017 for kidnapping. Once the officers finally opened up the shed, what they found inside was unbelievable.
William, come on out! William, come on now! Akron Police! Come out! Come out! Come out now! Nothing in your hand! Nothing in your hand! Now! Now! Hurry up! Get bit, buddy! Coming out or not? Can you see him? Get out here now! Come out now! Come out now! Bro, you're gonna get fucked up in a second. You better come the right fuck out now. Now! He's up in the attic. Come on. Keep going. No, keep everything out of your hands. He's in the attic. He's in the attic. Keep everything out of your hands. Keep your hands up. Keep your hands up. Put it down. Drop it. Drop. No, not your whole body. Get up. Turn around and walk backwards. Walk towards us. Keep your hands up. Put your hands up. Hey, we'll cuff. Hey! I didn't face that way!
Just keep coming. Watch your step. Right there. You get that?
There's a female in there. Come on out here. Okay, what do you need to get down? Let me get this ladder, okay? Okay, can you reach it?
Hey, 1 second here. Hold up. Let me move these ropes.
There's no one else up there?
Where do you live at here? Thompson? How far away is that?
Like 30 minutes, like close to Chardon.
Why don't you have a seat right there on this?
So you probably want to know. Yeah, probably. Where's she at? Up there also?
Yeah. Why don't you just sit down there?
That guy's a water.
We'll get you some stuff here.
Officers find a bruised up woman named Chloe Jones, who was found there after William offered her a ride home. She was inside the shed for a total of 4 days, to where she was beaten with a baseball bat the entire time. Once she was rescued, you can tell that she was extremely relieved that she was found. Then the cops called emergency services to take a look at Chloe's injuries, and Williams was arrested and charged for allegedly kidnapping. While finding a beaten woman inside a shed is horrible, here's a different time when cops rescue a kidnapped woman who was chained to a floor in a Kentucky home. On August 16, 2023, officers went to a house after receiving calls that there might be a person trapped on the second floor of the home. Once cops arrived at the scene, they saw the home's entrance was completely barricaded, so they had to think outside the box in order to even go inside the home.
Non-injury, call lead, actually 64,
Break the window down. Put the door down? Yeah. I got a bunch of loose stuff. That was hard. Look at that boy. Which window she kick out?
One of the officers saw that there was an open window on the second floor, so they grabbed a ladder and climbed up to it. And once they got to the top, they found a chained up woman inside.
Where you see a ladder at?
I got a ladder. The ladder was on the side.
Is anybody else in there?
140 legs are all free clear. Yes, open up.
He did what? Is he Hispanic?
Yeah.
Where's the key?
I know he's got it on his feet. And he's got it on his feet.
There's no coming up as pretty close to the seat, but we want to get you on 537 South 3rd Street.
There we go.
203.
The police department eventually did find the people who did it, and it turned out to be her estranged boyfriend, Moises May. They charged him with kidnapping, wanton endangerment, and assault, among other charges.
What do you think about the story of these women? Comment down below. So, this last story is a little more sensitive. This one is about a young girl named Jamie Kloss. Let's get into it.
Who's inside? Watch our asses, John.
It's a scene that left officers shocked.
I saw that there was some legs on the ground, saw that there was blood. I saw that the guy was missing half his face.
A race to find a missing girl.
Any child comes up missing, it pisses me off.
My first thoughts were, I mean, it was like I was literally seeing a ghost.
And the evil behind it all.
There is no doubt in my mind that you are one of the most dangerous men to ever walk on this planet.
In October 2018, the kidnapping of Jamie Kloss went viral. At the time, no one could figure out what was going on with the 911 dispatch call, but it was very disturbing. Listen to this.
Here in County 911, where is your husband?
Somebody else is on the phone. Hello?
What you're hearing is the frantic call police received on October 15th, 2018. The call originated from the cell phone of Denise Kloss from Barron County, Wisconsin.
Hello?
You can clearly hear there's distress happening at that moment. The sudden outburst of screams from Denise, calling Jamie's name, sound truly heartbreaking. The retired FBI agent Bobby Chacon said, "You can't hear any explanations, only few words and a lot of commotion." Following the 911 call, the police finally arrived to the home. Here's what they found.
Officers rushed to the home of Denise, her husband James, and their 13-year-old daughter, Jamie.
Open door. Somebody's down. Somebody's down.
Sheriff's office, who's inside? Watch our asses, John.
When authorities arrive just minutes after the 911 call, they find a gruesome sight.
We got a dead body in this one. We got a body in here too.
James and Denise Kloss are shot dead.
Dead body right at the front door. Heavy trauma to the face, gunshot, looks like a shotgun shell to the face. Found another one in the bathroom, almost directly straight back from the front door, in the bathtub, dead.
As for Jamie,
door's been breached. We're missing somebody.
She's nowhere to be found.
We're still missing a gun? We're missing a lot.
A widespread search for the missing teenager ensues, with the FBI even offering a reward of $25,000 for information leading to Jamie's whereabouts.
There were search teams put together. There were thousands of tips rolling in. 95% of those tips end up being nothing. Canvassing, knocking on doors, they did not exhaust one means to try to find their answer.
The chance of finding them alive goes down. 2 people who brutally murdered and she was taken from the house.
About a week later, as Jamie's parents are laid to rest, a startling development. Authorities are alerted to someone breaking into the Kloss home. The burglar is apprehended and ID'd as 32-year-old Kyle Jankianis.
In all reality, it was her underwear or something like that. Any child comes up missing, it pisses me off.
Jankianis turns out to not be the killer, just a common criminal who wanted to steal some things.
At the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, we were wondering the same thing. Is Jamie out there? Is she even alive? As the days went on, media attention, at least nationally, started to go down. We're strategizing behind the scenes, trying to figure out, what we could do. I had plans to go out to Wisconsin and see if we could bring more attention to Jamie's case.
The FBI made statements saying that catching the attempted burglar was a waste and took up valuable time needed to find Jamie. Her fate was in their hands. But then there was hope. Let's see the outcome.
Douglas County 911.
Hi. I have a young lady at my house right now, and she says her name is Jamie Kloss.
On January 10th, 2019, over 2 months after the killings, Jamie Kloss is suddenly found alive in Gordon, Wisconsin, an hour away from Barron.
Okay, have you seen her photo, ma'am?
Yes, it is her. I 100% think it is her.
Okay.
When we heard the news that Jamie was found, I can't even describe it to you what happened at the National Center. We were stunned. It was emotional. We were happy.
According to the caller, Kristen Kazinkis, her neighbor, Jeannie Nutter, found Kloss. She gets on the phone and explains what happened.
So how did she come up upon your cabin?
I was walking my dog, and we were almost home, and she was walking towards me, crying, saying, "You gotta help me, you gotta help me."
Jamie's ability to escape in this case is amazing to me. I mean, all too often, and unfortunately most of the time, we don't have a positive resolution like this. It's really through the resilience and the courage of the person who's escaped.
When I saw her, I knew she was in trouble because I knew wherever she came from, she left in a hurry.
because she just had on a sweatshirt and leggings and shoes that were too big for her.
My first thoughts were I basically went into shock. Yeah, I mean, it was like I was literally seeing a ghost. I told Jamie when she was sitting on my couch yesterday, I just said, I am so glad to see you.
Coming up, Jamie was able to escape, but from who?
For 88 days, I have stood before you and said we would work tirelessly to bring Jamie Kloss home. Today, I can report we have done just that.
Back on January 10th, 2019, the country breathed a sigh of relief. A woman named Jeannie Nutter tells police she found 13-year-old Jamie Kloss alive in Gordon, Wisconsin, 88 days after Jamie was abducted from her home in Barron County. We would learn that Jamie escaped from her kidnapper, the man who also murdered her parents during that home invasion.
She thought he was going to come back home and
Who's going to come back?
Jake Thomas Patterson, a then 21-year-old ex-Marine. After Nutter identifies the suspect, Patterson is quickly located by authorities while in his car, and he immediately says, "I did it." But when he's thrown in the back of a cruiser, listen to the odd exchange between him and the officer.
You're no longer detained. You're under arrest now, okay?
For what?
Oh, they'll tell you when you get up to the officer.
Someone got turned off my car?
Yeah,
do something with it.
The other officer will take care of it for you. It's going to be a little bit of a drive, so if you want to get comfy.
I don't think that's possible.
On some level, he's confused, he's in shock, even though he knew this probably would be the end of how it all turned out.
Soon after his arrest, Patterson not only admits to police that he kidnapped Jamie and murdered her parents, but he voluntarily provides additional dark details. We would learn he became infatuated with the 13-year-old after randomly seeing her getting on a school bus.
It seems to me like he had this thing of wanting to abduct someone, a child, and this presented the opportunity for it. Something clicked in him and it flipped a switch, and that was the moment.
Through Patterson's admission, we got a clearer picture of what was happening on Denise Kloss's 911 phone call.
By his own admission, I think he was only in that house for 4 minutes or so. So to carry out this entire thing that quickly, it tells me that he had an objective. He knew what he was doing. He had a purpose and a focus. He needed to kill the father first because that's the biggest threat you're going to have.
He actually shot James through the window, point blank, before shooting the front door, kicking it down, and then trying to find where Jamie was. He ended up busting through into the bathroom and finding them both in the tub, with the mother trying to protect her at that point.
Investigators then realized that Patterson slipped through their fingers. Let's go back to Deputy John Fick's dashcam. As he rushes to the Kloss home on the night of the murders, notice the car on the left. That was Jake Patterson, driving with a stolen license, and Jamie tied up in the trunk, something officers even picked up on at the time.
That one car was heading out as we were coming, but they yielded.
On camera.
Camera? Yep.
The car's going that way? That maroon car that yielded? Yeah, you're right. I had it at 54.
We all want to say, darn it, that he should have been caught. The police were that close. But remember, the police had just received a call from the house that an act of violence was taking place. So their main focus was on getting to that house as quick as they could. Patterson actually pulls off to the shoulder to let the police pass, which is what most people do. So he didn't do anything out of the ordinary.
I downloaded the video. I couldn't get anything. The headlights were blocking it, and I don't even know if he even had a front license plate.
It's just one of those real unfortunate things that they didn't have the manpower to dispatch someone to follow or get on that car and respond to the scene at the same time.
Then I shined it again and saw that there was some legs on the ground, saw that there was blood, opened the door, and said that I saw that the guy was missing half his face.
Back on January 10th, 2019, 13-year-old Jamie Kloss stunned the world by miraculously escaping the home of Jake Patterson, the man who murdered her parents in cold blood and held her hostage for months. Patterson immediately confessed. He said he kept the girl locked in his cabin, at times forcing her under his bed for hours with no food, water, or bathroom breaks. They would play board games, watch TV, and would even sleep in the same bed.
Friends of his have said during that time frame they noticed an uptick in his personality, that he was friendly and he seemed to be happier. So I think in his warped mind, he was forming a life together with Jamie, and they were going to, I don't know, maybe live happily ever after.
In this particular case, it was about power and control combined. Knowing that he had somebody who was young and immature that he could have power over, and she could do whatever he wants her to do.
Patterson, though, never thought Jamie would actually try to escape.
Obviously, Jamie is under this tremendous fear, and he's using that fear in the beginning to keep her captive.
I think for her, she just kept it together every day. She didn't know when she was going to get out, or if she ever was going to. It must have taken everything inside her to just take that moment and run. I can't even say enough about how brave and courageous she was that day.
Patterson claims, despite his obsession with Jamie, he never sexually assaulted her.
It was never about the sexuality of it. I think it was about the companionship and having somebody that he can hold accountable to him.
They decided not to put Jamie through any kind of investigation. So we really won't ever really know what happened during those 88 days in full detail.
Patterson is charged with intentional homicide, kidnapping, and armed burglary. As he sat in jail awaiting trial, he stuns the public by writing a letter to a local reporter, once again providing more answers into what he was thinking.
The cops say I planned this thoroughly and that I said that. They're really good at twisting your words around, put them in different spots, straight up lie. Little mad about that. Trying to cover up their mistakes, I guess. This was mostly on impulse. I don't think like a serial killer.
I think Patterson writing the letter to the local reporter was his way of letting the public know what was happening in his head. It was an atrocious act. Now it's his time to say, you know what? Yeah, I did this, but for the reason is because of these issues that he has.
When asked what was going through his mind when he started perpetrating the crime, Patterson said he was angry and didn't want to do it, but the reason I did this is complicated.
Patterson ends up not fighting the charges.
How do you plead to that charge?
Guilty. Guilty. Guilty.
I think that he knew he couldn't beat the charges and he wanted it over as soon as possible. In his warped mind, again, he did voice some concern about not wanting to put Jamie through a trial. He put her through so much, right? The horrific things that he did to her. And now he has some kind of feigned concern.
In 2019, Jake Patterson pleaded guilty in a Wisconsin courtroom to murdering James and Denise Kloss, as well as abducting their 13-year-old daughter, Jamie Kloss, who incredibly escaped from her kidnapper. At Patterson's sentencing, it became a question of whether or not this man could ever get a chance at parole. We heard powerful victim impact statements, but in one of the most dramatic moments, a family attorney reads a statement from Jamie Kloss.
My parents and my home were the most important things in my life. He took them away from me in a way that will always leave me with a horrifying memory. But there are some things that Jake Patterson can never take from me. He can't take my freedom. He thought that he could own me, but he was wrong. I was smarter. I watched his routine and I took back my freedom. I will always have my freedom and he will not.
You know, the fact that he tried to take things from her, and he did take things from her, but he couldn't take away who she was. I saw it as a very remarkable young woman.
Then Patterson has some final words himself.
I would do, like, absolutely anything to take back what I did, you know. I would die. I would do absolutely anything to bring them back, you know. I don't care about me, I'm just so sorry. That's all.
I think Patterson apologizing and crying and tearing up was, again, another manipulation. He wished he wasn't in that situation. Well, of course not. He's going to jail for the rest of his life.
Finally, it's Judge James Babler's turn, and he doesn't hold anything back.
Your actions and the ideas that you had are not normal. They are shockingly not normal. I have no idea what rehabilitation could be provided for you. And these crimes rank as the most heinous and dangerous that I have seen either here or anywhere else in the state of Wisconsin, and perhaps the United States.
At one point, Judge Babler read aloud the words of Patterson, but the defendant wasn't happy.
She was the first girl I saw once I had those ideas in my head.
And that was his way of exerting his last morsel of power in that setting in order to show the public that, again, he is in charge.
There is no doubt in my mind that you are one of the most dangerous men to ever walk on this planet.
Babler sentenced Patterson to 2 life terms without the possibility of parole, plus an additional 40 years.
Today was a very important step in the process of helping Jamie to move forward. We are satisfied with the outcome and believe that it will give Jamie some much-needed peace of mind.
As Jake Patterson spends the rest of his life behind bars wrestling with the decisions he made, he may also have to wrestle to save his life. In video obtained from the New Mexico Corrections Department, Patterson is seen getting into a physical altercation with another inmate after he reportedly was harassed for the crimes he committed against a minor.
It's typical when an offender abuses children, there's some kind of jailhouse code that if they get in contact with somebody who is incarcerated for those things, they're going to make it known that it's unacceptable. And a lot of times those people end up dead.
As for Jamie, her aunt and guardian Jennifer Smith says she's doing good, surrounded by loved ones, and is taking life day by day.
Jamie will very likely have more to say in the future, but we are grateful for you allowing her to do that on her own terms.
I just want people to remember that there are thousands of missing children out there. It's up to us to make sure we're aware of the missing children in our community, because we could be that person to help bring that child home.
Kidnappings of women, children, and men are on the rise. So watch your surroundings, stay updated on what's happening in your area, and while you're at it, subscribe for more upcoming videos.